Hey guys, and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Today we are in the southern desert, just southeast of Narrow Neck Span, building an Argossean Watchtower. This tower uses a unique design, and it's intended to hold the river transition between the jungle and the desert to stop incoming ships. Before we get started though, we do of course have to thank the sponsors, NordVPN. If somehow you haven't heard of them before, NordVPN offers one of the best rated VPN services available, featuring super fast servers in 60 countries, no data logging, 24/7 customer support, double data encryption, the ability to unlock region-locked content including Netflix, ITV, BBC iPlayer and such, and more to ensure you always stay safe on the internet. With unlimited bandwidth, a lightweight Chrome browser extension, and the ability to use Nord on up to 6 devices simultaneously, including mobile devices, NordVPN is the best way to protect yourself on the internet. It's simple to use, one click and you're both connected and protected. NordVPN is great and it's one of the best ways to support me. Each video I make takes roughly between 8 and 12 hours to make, so when you purchase NordVPN through my link you really do help me out a ton. You can get 70% off NordVPN when you visit nordvpn.org/iradYT, or use code iradYT at checkout, which comes out to $3.49 a month, or about £2.80 if you're in the UK, which is a great price for the service. As always, a massive thanks to Nord for sponsoring the video. So, seeing as this is indeed a speed build, let's get right into it. During my usual perusal of my now quite extensive build suggestions list, I had an idea pop into my head that, though it didn't fit any of the build suggestions on that list, would have made for an interesting design, and this is just that. This build is quite simple, however includes a lot of repetitive placement depending on how tall you want the tower to be. In retrospect, I think I could have actually gone a bit taller, however the tower does have a pretty decent effective viewing range even at the height I built it at. Due to the design being so simple yet quite repetitive, I made this video a speed build because the original file is about 50-60 minutes long, and it's just a lot of placing the same things and a bit of thinking how things are going to work, but generally it's a lot of repetitive placement over and over again, hence why this is a speed build. The basic idea for the base is pretty simple. A large watchtower near the narrow section of the southern desert river, built from the new Argossean pieces. Sounds pretty simple, though I had a design in mind that would make what would otherwise be a simple build quite unique and impressive, using the new vaulted ceiling pieces to create viewing bays on alternating sections of the tower, to allow an effective visibility in a 360-degree radius around the build, whilst also having taller viewing platforms able to see much further down the river, along with being able to view the sentinels, the surrounding desert, and even as far as the ruins in the far southern desert. The construction for the build was pretty straightforward. I started with a square base of a 9x9 and a basement, and continued to build up from there, alternating from a plus-like shape and an X-like shape depending on the floors, leaving gaps to allow for both corner and middle viewing platforms respectively. I also chose to include a 360-degree viewing platform atop the tower, along with a trebuchet mounted on the very top of the tower for firing down on the river. Sure, it probably would have been much easier to go for the fairly simple squared design with balcony viewing platforms attached to the tower rather than built into them. However, when I thought of making this build, I had pretty much already visualised in my head this design I'm using now, which in my opinion looks much better than the simplified option, even if the construction is both somewhat fiddly and quite repetitive. Overall, I think going for the slightly more complicated design that I chose works much better to create a unique watchtower that still creates an imposing figure across the river. I chose to use Argossean for the simple reason that it provides enough unique features through the vaulted ceilings, whilst also keeping an elegant design that Arena lacks, though this build could definitely work with the Blood and Sand DLC. Towards the end of construction, I spent a good while debating about whether or not I actually wanted to include the trebuchet on the roof. Traditionally, trebuchets were a device used by attackers against fortified positions such as castles and forts, as they could be set up quickly and used against a fortified but stationary target, so seeing them mounted on castle walls or tower walls was, to my understanding at least, quite uncommon. However, seeing as the trebuchet will only be used to fire upon attacking ships, and the tower is placed next to such a narrow part of the river, the trebuchet only has a small area in which to fire, and therefore would actually probably be quite effective against enemy vessels, if they make the mistake of coming too far into the narrow span, They're going to have to turn around, which makes them slow and an easy target, and if they don't, then they probably can't get close enough to attack the tower, at which point a salvo of rocks from the trebuchet could see them off. Lore-wise, this sort of tower would be used to keep an eye on the river, which provides important trade routes from the eastern lands, the scattered islands, and the undiscovered lands to the far east. And while smaller vessels may be able to quickly traverse the river, large trade ships or even warships may have to take their time and be cautious at the more narrow areas of the river, which allows the watchtower extra time to respond and stop the ship, either with a boarding party to check their goods, or with the roof-mounted trebuchet, which is already sighted in on the river and can be easily adjusted depending on the target location. Even better, this tower could quite easily be attached to some city walls, so that the walls can be mounted by archers to fire at pirates attempting to escape the wreckage of their ship after the trebuchet fires. So I think that's about all I have to say for now. As with all speed builds, I'll be back for the furnishing phase where we'll take a walk through the fully furnished build. Don't forget you can get 70% off NordVPN when you go to nordvpn.org/iradYT, and that does help me out a ton. Until then, enjoy, and I'll see you in the furnishing phase. finally, when the shell of the build was done, it was then time to of course furnish. Approaching the watchtower, I've opted for the theme-fitting lighting choices of hanging Aquilonian braziers for the main light and Argossean wall torches for fill light. Entering the watchtower, we end up on the ground floor, which offers stairs both up and down. Firstly, we're going to head downstairs and reach the dining room. This is where all the guards within the tower can come together to eat at almost any time. Guards will be working in shifts in the tower, so there's always at least a handful of guards awake, so having the kitchen available to all guards at all times mean they can ensure they get their 3 square meals a day. Heading back up to the ground floor, there are 2 rooms here, which are workshops. These small workshops work to maintain the items within the watchtower, along with repairing or improving armour and weapons. Heading upstairs, we reach the first floor. This is the plus-shaped floor, built with 2 armories, so that guards can quickly grab a bow or a sword if they don't already have one. There is a viewing platform in each corner, allowing for an effective just about 360 degrees of coverage around the tower. Heading upstairs again, we reach the second floor, which is shaped somewhat like an X. Though the rooms here are indeed smaller and tighter than the floor below, they are used as bedrooms for the guards that are not currently on shift. This tower probably only needs about a dozen or so guards to function effectively, along with a spotter and trebuchet operator, so for those guards who aren't currently working, they can get some sleep in one of the many beds. The viewing platforms on this floor are extended out to get a little more side coverage. Heading upstairs again, we reach the third floor, which again is the plus-like shape and contains 2 armories and 4 corner viewing bays. Next we reach the 4th floor. This is a small open plan bedroom and also has some crates for storing excess arrows and rocks for the trebuchet. The doors on this floor lead to the 360-degree viewing balcony, which allows for views all across the river, along with to the south of the tower into the desert. Heading upstairs, we finally reach the trebuchet platform, where the already sighted and loaded trebuchet can quickly and easily be adjusted and fired at enemy warships, only needing a trebuchet operator and a spotter to be effective. And there we have it, an Argossean Watchtower in the southern desert, just southeast of Narrow Neck Span. Thanks for watching. Though this build was a pretty spontaneous decision, I'm quite happy with how it came out and how unique it looks. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and let me know in the comments below if you have any build suggestions for future videos. As usual, absolutely anything is welcome. Don't forget to both follow me on Twitch and join the fun on our Discord through the links in the description. And don't forget you can get 70% off NordVPN when you use code ERADYT at checkout, or you can go through my affiliate link in the description and the pinned comment below. YouTube is currently my full-time source of income, so if you enjoy the content and would like to help support the channel so I can continue to put out the best content possible, do consider becoming a patron. There are multiple tiers of support from $1 to $20, offering many different benefits from a mention in every video to Discord roles, and even sneak peeks of every new video before anyone else. During the lockdown, most of us are still in. The video previews that are usually restricted to the $20 tier will be open for the $10 tier as well, so everyone's got a little bit more content to enjoy. The link to my Patreon is in the description, so if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to consider becoming a patron. On that note, a thanks to our patrons Sammy, Sadialot, Randar and Dawnfox. If you're new here, feel free to check out the rest of the content on the channel. There are new Conan Exiles videos coming every Wednesday and Sunday. So if you like what you see, subscribe and ring the notification bell to be the first to see the next video, and to join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.